Well, it's time now for business, and let's bring in Jameel Ahmad from the GTC group. He's in Ho Chi Minh City for us. Jameel, how are markets looking today?
Today actually is looking a little bit quiet, but I think this week is going to be important for global financial markets because actually we're actually already hitting the end of the first half of 2024. And what a fantastic year has been for global financial markets. If I just give you the example of the S&P 500, it's up by 15%, and it's had more than 30 record closes. But the thing is, when it comes to portfolios and the timing that we are actually starting to enter the second half of the year, it's possible that investors will start shifting expectations towards what the second half of 2024 could bring. And maybe there's a potential risk for some profit taking because markets are sitting at such dizzy heights that reasonably we can ask questions as towards whether we should have a bit more of a correction. So I do think that this week is going to be important. Elsewhere, we need to watch the Japanese yen because the Japanese currency is starting to weaken again towards 160, which previously has been very much uncomfortable levels for Japanese officials. And the most recent time that this happened which was only just over a month ago, we did have intervention from the Japanese central bank. So I think we do have a lot to watch out for this week.
And Jameel, the price of gold has slumped significantly recently as investors continue to take profits after record highs.
Again, that's just another asset class that had a fantastic first half of the year, and I lost count of how many times gold prices did hit record highs. The most recent one was just under $2,450 back in April, the beginning of May as well. But as we sit now towards the end of June, we have dropped by just over $100, in fact, more towards 150. It does appear that we're heading for a drop potentially below 2,300. And the reason for this is that we have a stronger US dollar across the board. And we're starting to reshift those expectations that although the Federal Reserve, the US Central Bank, might cut US interest rates this year, they're not going to cut as aggressively as their peers like the Bank of England, the European Central Bank. This is supporting the US dollar, which is the greenback. And because gold is actually valued in US dollars, this does present some potential opportunities to see a further correction in the markets.
And Jameel, any other key economic data you're keeping your eye on for us this coming week?
The beginning of this week, we're going to have a lot of focus on Europe. We have a number of different EU economic metrics. But towards the end of the week, we have Japanese inflation data, US GDP, UK GDP, and the main headline and their highlight will be the end of the week where we have the Federal Reserve, which is the US central bank's preferred gauge of inflation, the PCE. We're expecting that data, which should present some opportunities towards what our expectations are for the US central bank heading into the second half of this year.
Jameel Ahmad from GTC Group, thank you very much. It's time now for our press review.